The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important shipping routes in the world. Approximately 20% of the global oil supply passes through this narrow waterway every single day. However, since late February 2026, this critical route has been effectively blocked, and the consequences are now reaching dinner tables across Japan. Here is what happened. On February 28, 2026, the United States and Israel launched a large-scale military operation against Iran, targeting nuclear facilities and military installations. In response, Iran's Revolutionary Guard announced restrictions on vessel traffic through the Strait of Hormuz. Within days, the number of ships passing through the strait dropped by 97%. Over 150 tankers are currently anchored in the Persian Gulf, unable to proceed. So, why does this matter for Japan's food supply? Japan imports approximately 90% of its crude oil from the Middle East. This oil is not just used for fuel, it powers factories, transportation networks, and agricultural production. When oil prices rise, the entire supply chain is affected. The first and most immediate impact is on food packaging. Plastic trays used for fresh fish and meat are made from petrochemicals derived from crude oil. One manufacturer in Japan has already reported a 40% increase in raw material costs. A major packaging company has also announced a price increase for food trays effective this month. As a result, consumers are already paying more for packaged seafood, meat, and ready-made meals at supermarkets. The second concern is fertilizer. Approximately one-third of the world's fertilizer trade passes through the Strait of Hormuz. Nitrogen-based fertilizers are produced using natural gas, which is also transported through the strait. With the shipping route disrupted, fertilizer prices have surged. Japan imports nearly 100% of its chemical fertilizers. The planting season began in April, but many farmers are facing a shortage of supply. This means that by autumn, crop yields, including vegetables and rice, could decline significantly. The third issue is livestock feed. Japan's domestic feed production rate is only 26%. Although feed grains like corn and soybeans are mainly imported from the United States and Brazil via the Pacific route, which is not directly affected, rising transportation costs and global commodity price increases are putting pressure on the livestock industry. Prices for eggs, milk, and meat are expected to rise gradually over the coming months. Experts suggest that the most likely scenario for Japan is not a shortage of food itself, but rather a sustained increase in food prices, what some are calling a cost shock. The situation remains uncertain. However, one thing is clear: the crisis in the Strait of Hormuz is no longer a distant geopolitical issue. It is a challenge that affects what we eat and how much we pay for it every day.